Hello, everyone out on YouTube. We are the Middle-Aged Guys, and we bullshit about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
Yesterday, Nintendo made it official. It is no longer the Nintendo NX. It is now officially the Switch. They released out a 2-minute teaser trailer, and as of this time, it has over, I think, 6 million views on YouTube. A lot of comments and a lot of information that was released out in that short little trailer, of which has a lot of people excited, and rightfully so. And some other folks, like the folks that you see on the screen right now, have other thoughts. And while we may not be shitting all over the idea, we're definitely cautiously optimistic. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and share our thoughts. And with that, guys, floor is open. Go ahead. First impressions.
Yeah, I've already made a video about this. So we're full circle. We're back to cartridge. From console that had games built in, the cartridge, the CDs, the DVDs, the Blu-ray, and now cartridge again.
Yep.
I mean, those things are small. We're not going to have to. I hope not.
I hope not.
That would be horrible.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, so with that being said, backwards compatibility is most likely out for the Wii U, unless they're going to have backwards compatibility for the GameCube. But that thing is small. It's small. The controllers at the side, the design's pretty cool. It's very innovative. Gray Mouse, what about you? How do you feel about it?
Well, let's start real quick. Let's talk about the controller scheme. I really think it's very interesting on the way the control scheme is. Just like in the video, the short, 3-minute video they showed. It showed how easy it is to take them off, put them on, to dock the system. And that's one thing I was really impressed with. But I have some reserves with how big the controllers are. From the video when the guys were holding it, it looked really small. But so is our cell phones, and everybody has them doing, one thumbing thing. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. And also some of the controls, like the left and the right, you can share with your buddy. Here you go. And you could also have them in both hands, I guess. And I don't know how the functionality on that is, but as far as I see the control scheme, I'm very interested in playing games on that. And then also I think there was looked like an Xbox S controller, to be honest with you. But the Wii U had that, the same thing. It's become a standard, I think, to have a controller like that. So I'm really excited about the control scheme. What about you, Reverend? What do you think?
I am this particular device here, as far as first impression goes, I am very, very much impressed. If there's a particular thing that Nintendo is really good at, is that they give you options on how you want to go ahead and play your games. Control configurations, you've got the 2 Joy-Con controllers, what they call them. You could either have them on the side of the main tablet or on its, I think the center joy grip is what they call it. A lot of joy gripping. Or you have it in each hand, and some people online I've seen saying that this is awkward. All I got to say is that if you're a male and you don't know how to jack off with both hands, I don't know whether or not to admire you or to sit there and tell you to go back and practice.
So is that the geek stereotype right there, man?
No, that I don't think that's without having to jump into a huge philosophical discussion. That is not a geek stereotype.
Yeah,
that's a dude stereotype.
Fuck that.
But aside from the controllers and like the ones that actually go on the console and on the grip, like you had mentioned before, we've got the Xbox Classic S style controller or the Wii U Pro style controller that they have available, which it's great. They give you that option. Or if you happen to have, I would say, a suitable game and you're out on the go, you split the Joy-Cons up and you can use those as simple, direction pad and 4-button face controllers. It's it seems very innovative as far as what they're trying to do, and I think Nintendo has gone a long way into thinking this through. And you know, the thing about Control, when we think about it, is that throughout that whole video, not one mention at all of touch control or waggle controls,
or like touch screen.
Yeah.
Is this thing going to be a touch screen?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a touch screen.
What about Amiibo support?
Amiibo support has been confirmed, and we know that seeing in the video that it does have near field communication capabilities.
Has it been confirmed?
No, Nintendo themselves has confirmed that Amiibo support is going to be included. They are not going to give up on that cash.
Not that cash cow. No.
Wow, it has a headphone jack.
Hey, that was
wow.
That was.
Oh my God! Technology has stepped up. That a device has a headphone jack that you can take. Oh my God!
This is pretty sad that we're excited about a headphone jack.
Well,
in all honesty, seriously now.
Well, the funny thing about that is
wait a minute. Nintendo goofed on that before with the GBASP.
Yeah. And Apple goofed on that just recently with the release of the iPhone 7. Okay, look, if they include Bluetooth capability for headphones, I'll appreciate it. But having that jack there, let's just say this, people are like, but that's technology from the 30s. The reason why it's stuck around for almost 100 fucking years is because it works.
It's more reliable.
Yeah, definitely more reliable.
Add on to that, I mean, we don't know if it's Bluetooth capable or not. So we haven't really gotten anything.
Well, let's think about this. If you're at home and it's on its dock and you're far away, I don't think there's any controller headphone slot.
No, there's coming through.
Bluetooth will be most likely a great idea if you're at home, if you're playing your games, if you're kind of far away, you're like, yeah.
Oh.
It's coming through your TV at that point when it's docked.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But
it's nice to have the option, though. And that's one of the
wait a minute. Most controllers now, like, okay, the Wii U, and even the freaking PS4 has speakers on their controllers, so when certain things happen, you'll hear sounds through the freaking controller itself.
They also have your headset jacks too.
All right, to shift the gears a little bit, what do you guys think about the format, the game format? SD card versus Blu-ray disc.
Now let's talk about that. How many slots of for cartridges or SD slots are there going to be? Because there's going to be one for the games. There has to be one for saves, maybe, unless this thing's going to come up with a big ass hard drive built into it.
I doubt that. Now,
right.
the thing
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that they're going to have a large hard drive built in. However,
don't go to Sony fucking Vita route, Nintendo. Don't do that.
However, if they have support for SD or micro SD, look, SanDisk went out of their way and they announced just last week a 1 terabyte SD card.
Are you serious?
Yes, they did. All right, it cost you $160, but it's 1 terabyte on a fucking flash. Yeah.
The thing is, though, what I think, this is my opinion now, is that during that video you saw a close-up of the dock, and then on the side of the dock, the angle you did see. I could have swore I saw USB ports. So what I'm thinking, this is my opinion, though, I'm thinking that Nintendo actually borrowed some from Microsoft this time and may allow a external HD drive to save your games.
Or a hard drive.
Exactly.
Let's split the difference here, all right? On the Wii U, you're allowed to hook up an external drive on the USB to go ahead and save all of your downloaded content.
Absolutely. Okay?
On the 3DS and on the DS, you have a micro SD and an SD card slot.
Yes,
so I'm thinking on the tablet itself, most likely there's probably going to be another slot for an SD card, and that can also double for handling saves.
I don't know. I didn't see any, but at the actual monitor, or not monitor, but the screen, I didn't really see anything as a USB port, or I mean, maybe because I didn't see the whole thing.
I don't think the USB ports are obviously on the dock, but I'm saying on the tablet itself. On the tablet itself, I would not be surprised if it has an SD card slot.
Yeah, because let's think about this.
Small.
If you're out and about and you need to save a pretty game,
yeah. It's either that or a very small, and that's a problem. Honestly, I think if it's a small on-board memory, you know what I mean. I hope it's not that. I really do hope that it's an SD slot where you can add, things in there.
How are two players handled with this?
Co-op locally, or
okay. But what about system to system?
System to system, as we saw, is
Wi-Fi.
It looks like it handles it either through near field communication, where you have to have them close to each other in close proximity,
just like the PSP and the 3DS,
or an ad hoc mode like on the PSP or 3DS. Yeah.
Which close, vicinity thing. I did. I remember in that commercial, it was actually very close.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, are you going to have to be like sitting in your friend's lap in order for that?
No, remember if you remember, they also showed during the whole Splatoon thing, they had a group of 4 guys sitting.
Yeah.
So they weren't on each other's laps. All right. So hopefully that's not going to happen. I mean, I like y'all and everything, but I don't expect that to.
Yeah, it has a little kickstand, and it has a little kickstand and everything. And
or do you think that?
How loud is this shit going to be?
Hang
without earphones.
Do you think Nintendo's actually going to have a network? I mean, as in like an Xbox Live and a PSN?
Well, one of the things that we had looked at a long time ago was that Nintendo was hooked up with a company called DNA, which is a mobile developer, a client developer in Japan. These guys, as far as they go, they announced that before they announced their mobile games and everything else. If Nintendo is going toward actually handing users their own personal Nintendo accounts, then they have already partnered up with people to go ahead and actually help them along as far as handling client-side applications that go ahead and take care of that stuff, especially when it comes to what they call a thin client application, where it's not very big. You can just sit there on the system. You don't have to worry about like this huge 400 megabyte download to go ahead and handle it or anything like that. And if it needs to be updated and everything, it's just like updating an application on your phone.
Now wait a minute. The controllers that docks onto the console, that's the way they recharge?
Either by that or the grip.
Yeah. Because it did look like that grip, like you said. It did look like, because you got the controller that fits on the screen.
And it has green LEDs on it.
Yeah. You can actually extend it out to make it more of a
standard size controller. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, this is so many possibilities and options. This is what we've been preaching since we started these channels, is that options are.
It's very obvious that Nintendo's got to put a lot of thought in this, because I mean, just looking at the different configurations.
Yeah, but third-party controllers may be screwed.
Well, no, not completely. Not completely. I don't think so just yet. I think some of the things.
What about recharging the controllers?
I think. Well, if it's anything like the Xbox or the PS4 controllers, you just hook up a USB cable into one of those ports, and you throw the controller on.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think that's outside of the realm of possibility. The thing with third-party controllers and everything else, the one thing that I have to say about third-party controllers is that, generally speaking, third-party controllers have become a lot better in quality than what they were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The thing about that is that if they use the same control and communication scheme that they have ever since the Wii remote and the nunchuck and everything else, guess what? You could sync up a Wii remote to the Bluetooth dongle on your PC, and if you have an infrared sensor array and some little metallic dots on your hands, you can actually use a Wii controller as a pointer for your PC. Yeah. It's been shown on YouTube. So if they use the same type of technology, that's available to everybody, and it's not overtly expensive. So hopefully that's something that can come about. But that does raise a lot of other questions, because we know that Nintendo has put a lot of thought into it. like when they were taking it out on the road, they had like this headrest dock, a frame that they could actually slide the thing into. That was seen there. They've got the kickstand and all of that, but there's still some questions that a lot of people, some discerning, some not so discerning, that have like, what's the battery life on this thing going?
Absolutely, that's going to be paramount.
Yeah,
because we cannot do another Game Gear walk 2 steps.
It would pass 2 minutes.
I'm just saying,
but
you cannot have a Game Gear walk 2 steps and you got to change the batteries. That can't go.
Speaking of speaking of batteries, they have to do the batteries and the rechargeable batteries correctly, because if this is supposed to be a console that people are going to be using it for, it's going to be on a dock for a long time. Rechargeable batteries have to have activity. They have to drain, they have to recharge, or if you just have it sit there for like weeks or months at a time, those batteries will be corrupted and they'll expand and they'll burst or something like that. So
I think that times have changed a little bit from that time, but maybe this is just speculation again. Maybe that when your battery's charged, it will automatically switch off or power down to charge part. You know what I mean? And then start depleting your battery again. But we don't know. We don't know the details. All we were shown was, it's all guesstimations.
Speaking of what all we were shown, let's talk about the games that they showed.
Yeah. They wouldn't show what that red one was, man. I wonder what that red game was.
Well, off the top of my head, if you consider what they've shown, and if you've seen other videos out there that break it down frame by frame, it looks like we've definitely got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They opened up with that. There's definitely a new Mario, because as far as the Mario goes, what was shown on screen did not look like any previous stage or any
Right. That was a hybrid.
They showed Mario Kart, and I believe it was with Mario Kart, I believe it was Andre the Black Nerd comedy. He pointed out that it was King Boo riding around on that cart, and guess what? He is not a selectable character in Mario Kart 8.
That's what I was saying. Either that or what was the other game?
Then there was Splatoon, which looks like it was running at a little bit of a higher clip and higher resolution. And then, interesting enough, third-party games, they had Skyrim and they had NBA 2K showing.
So it's not just a Nintendo console for Nintendo games.
I am skeptical about the Skyrim, because I believe that Bethesda just loaned them that just for the announcement. And
it could have been for the 2K as well.
Exactly. I mean, we haven't.
But by them loaning it, it means that there's going to be some type of third-party
interest. Yes. Yeah. We support. And then, like you said, there's a huge list of 42 third-party developers, most of them on the Japanese side of things, that are on board already. We already knew Ubisoft was. They already mentioned that. EA kind of hinted at it. But I mean, some of those names, you got Capcom, you got, some of these big names, Atlas.
Bethesda is on there. Yeah, Bethesda is on there.
I saw Sega. I saw 2K. I saw Bethesda.
I mean, I'm excited that Atlas is on there. That means that RPGs are going to be on.
In Japan, yes, but what about here?
That will remain to be seen, to tell you the truth.
Oh, speaking of which, is it going to be region locked?
We don't know yet.
Well, it's cartridge, but then again, the 3DS is locked.
Exactly.
The DS is not, though. So it all depends on how they have the hardware set up.
What I'm interested too is that if you look at the game that actually the still shots, if you really analyze the game that went into the device, you could actually see where the connectors are, and it looks totally different. That's not saying that the connectors inside the device has more connectors to it, but maybe it might not be, or it may be compatible with the 3DS. It may not be compatible with the 3DS.
So now
Nintendo would allow that much money on the table to sit there and not be able to. It's supposed to be a portable console hybrid. So it would be great that they could bring the massive 3DS library that they have, and maybe the new 3DS library or whatever, onto the Nintendo Switch. I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, let's look at the freaking. Okay, are you going to be able to download games digitally?
I'm sure the virtual console will be there. It's on every device since the Wii, I think.
Most likely, I don't think Nintendo is going to be willing to give up the eStore anytime soon.
So either you're going to have memory cards or hard drive space. I think they're going to do the SD card thing. They have to. So too. They don't have it, and like I say, do not go the fucking Vita route and have your own cards. And no, please don't fucking do that.
I'm pretty sure they can, all things considered, if we've seen things correctly, that they should be able to do both, SD card and an external hard drive.
Well, and another thing too, we didn't see anyone standing and moving and jumping around with the controllers now.
And controls.
Wavy. They're past
that
in the Wii U.
To add on to that the initial screen or the initial opening, the TV, the guy with the TV, I was looking for sensors along the, you know what I mean? There was no sensors. So I don't know, like when you take that apart, I don't know if it's going to be infrared.
You have a good point there, because it was sitting on a dock at the side of the TV. It wasn't a sensor on top.
No, there was no sensor. I didn't see, because they showed the whole TV with the guy sitting in the living room. And
maybe you're not pointing or anything. You're just controlling the device. But
when the guy was on the airplane, he had both of them in his hands.
Right, but you're still wirelessly connected to the Switch.
So very interesting.
I mean, there's a lot.
So it's basically to the Switch itself that you're controlling, because.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, the type of things that they put together, and it's very apparent that Nintendo has put a lot of thought into it. There's just like I said, I'm still just cautiously optimistic on it. I'm not head over heels falling onto the tracks of the hype train and willing to get run over by that hype shit.
The main thing about that, Reverend, games are the most important thing here now.
Yeah.
We just saw what they debuted the system. They debuted the controllers, control scheme, and what you could do with your friends and so on and so forth. Now, we have to have a lineup of games. That will clinch everything if the games are great and if the games are done correctly, and if they are the games that gamers are fucking looking for. Nintendo needs third party. First party is unlocked. We saw Mario, we saw Zelda, we saw Splatoon, maybe. We saw Mario Kart, maybe. But they need more and they need fucking Metroid 5. But they need more third fucking party in order to get this thing rolling. And their launch has to be like a Dreamcast launch, in my opinion. They can't launch this shit for like 2 fucking games for like 6 months. They can't do that. No. Launch with at least 15 to 20 titles from first and third fucking party, so you can have a grip of great games to come out with this console, so everyone will have a certain variety of games to get.
What's interesting that you mentioned that is that one that I thought very stark contrast was when the Wii U was showcased at first and the Wii was showcased at first. You saw a family sitting on the damn couch, and you saw families, playing the Nintendo. This one was all adults. It looked like, 25-year-olds to up to 30, 35, 40-year-olds.
This thing tried to coordinate ways of life.
Exactly.
Your dog wants to be walked. Okay, boy, let's go. I'm going to take my system with me.
Exactly. That's the point that I'm making.
Oh, I have to travel. Oh, I'm on the plane so I can play this shit on the plane on my business trip.
I think the demographics is aimed at us this time, that Nintendo actually listened. Yeah, kids will play the system, but they're targeting us, our generation.
Well, see, I don't think they wanted to have kids on that thing at first, because they have to display and show the capabilities of the system as far as taking things on and off and in and out. And I don't think they would have kids do that.
Well, Yeah, you're asking for a disaster, especially if it's going to be $300 device. I'm just saying, you don't want no snot little nosed kid go up there and
people drop these all the time and crack them, and they get
exactly.
fucked. So now, don't drop this console. This is a fucking console. I mean, damn. What happened? I cracked my Nintendo Switch.
I cracked my Switch. Nintendo's terrible with naming their devices, man. Oh my
Wait, what?
Last time somebody said that they cracked their Switch, it was my dad, and he just got done beating my ass with one.
Now, wait a minute. What, the Xbox One?
Hey, I was going there too. Xbox.
So
Sony's the only one.
The Wii U.
Look, Sony is the only one that has
1, 2, 3, 4.
common sense. Yeah.
No, it's kind of boring for people.
No.
To the name.
PlayStation Portable. I mean, come on, dude.
Okay.
I'm just saying everything they
Okay. The DS. I used to make fun of that too.
double screen. Yeah.
No, I called it the dumb shit. But I make fun of everything that I like too, not just things that I don't like. But at the end of the day, what's in the name? People will get past the name. People got past Wonder Swan.
Especially
if
the games are there, they'll definitely.
If the games are there, they won't care.
No.
Or you got that name sucks. I don't give a fuck. I got more games and better games than you and your fucking console, so fuck you.
So
that's all it's gonna come down to is the games.
So Reverend, you have a unique perspective of third-party companies and whatnot. Can you put any input on that huge list of third parties that supposedly signed on board with Nintendo for this new device?
Well, it's the reason why I said I'm cautiously optimistic on it. My whole thing with Nintendo systems and third-party development or third-party support, especially over the last few consoles, has been that a lot of developers sit there and say that they love it. And when it comes time to put out actual games that are made for that console, it's a fucking crapshoot. When it came to the Wii U, EA, who is also on that list, also on that particular infographic with all the development partners, said that they absolutely loved the Wii U, but they didn't support it. And they went out of their way to go ahead and take a shit on it every time they had an opportunity. Ubisoft with the Wii U said the exact same thing, that they were absolutely looking forward to it, but they didn't support it when it came out too. Reason being is that Nintendo didn't want EA Origin or fucking Uplay on it.
It's funny because Konami is even on that fucking list.
I noticed that. I just shook my head.
Konami's going to keep on shitting out things if they think it's going to make them money. Now, whether or not they're going to be real games, that's another question altogether.
What, they're going to have a pachinko adapter for the memory card and fucking stick that shit in?
I'm still waiting for the dual power gloves.
No, wait. It is a dual power glove. It's dual fucking controllers now. In and out, on and off your fucking console.
What was
Rob is not there.
What was so interesting was that there was like
no credit card slot, people.
Like the Reverend was saying, there are several different ways that this thing comes apart and comes together. Seems like, I don't know if it's going to be a device that you got to buy extra, like that center device once you take it off the dock and you put it on that other device, the other handheld device. I think
that should come standard with the whole. What?
I would expect that to come standard.
It has to.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I would expect that to come standard because the thing is that if all it is a charging grip or something like that, that can hook up to the dock to go ahead and charge them. It's
standard.
What's up?
Is the S controller going to be standard?
I don't think the S controller is going to be.
The Pro controller is probably not going to be.
But you're going to have to buy extra handles or whatever with an extra dock in order to fucking.
As far as it goes,
four-player games, you're going to be screwed unless you have extra ones of those.
No, for the four-player controllers, most likely you'll be able to sync. If it's like any of the other consoles out there, you're going to be able to sync extra controllers to it.
I did see.
And that's one thing that was made obvious, not to cut you off, within the particular teaser trailer, was that when it came to, no matter what, Nintendo has not left couch co-op or couch play or with buddies, you know, out in the cold. Thank you, Nintendo. Okay, because look, a lot of people may sit there and say, so when do you get together with your friends? Well, whenever you fucking can. You want them something available for them to fucking do. Okay.
Fuck.
You know, I mean, I understand everybody wants to play online, but you know, still, when you get people over, you want them to have a way to go ahead and participate. That's a nice thing.
I verified it myself. I saw it on that still shot of the close to the dock. It had 4 lights on there. There was one guy playing. It was green. I saw, well, it wasn't on, but I did see 1, 2, 3, 4. I counted it. So there's at least 4 players that can go into that one dock. Is what I'm thinking. So
yeah, that's what we're hoping.
I mean, where do you get the other controllers from? Does your friend bring their controllers over to your house?
Unless you buy extra ones.
That's what I'm saying. Question marks and more question marks.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of things that I think a lot of us who've seen the teaser trailer are maybe we're impressed, maybe we're not so impressed, or maybe you're like us, where it's like there's a lot of things that impress us, but there's a lot of things that we're still wondering about.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you know, the Nintendo Direct is coming out tomorrow, maybe today, depending on the time this video comes up, and Nintendo did a very smart thing. They got everybody buzzing about their new product, and then when they actually come out and they do their Nintendo Direct, when all the questions are being showered on them, or they've already set the stage where it's like, hey, look, you want more information, we're going ahead and we're going to do the Nintendo Direct. Even more people are going to go ahead and pay attention to that when that comes out, and they're going to have a lot more to talk about later. I think it's a genius move myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yep. Anything else, guys, that we may not have covered over the last 35 minutes?
I think we covered everything. We covered.
Well, as far as what we know, but again, games. Come on. It's all about the games.
I'll tell you what, I'll even say it right now. If Nintendo nails these games tomorrow or in the near future, Microsoft and Sony, you got too complacent. Nintendo coming, you know, everybody's like, oh, Nintendo. I mean, we had people that were saying Nintendo shouldn't even exist no more. They should be third party. They should, you know, stuff like that. You know, us 3 here have said it countless times that Nintendo can't go away, and it will not go away.
Whoever said that shit.
And the fact that if Nintendo hits this out of the park, I think Nintendo will be king again. I mean, I can't wait for that. I really believe that Nintendo needs to give Microsoft and Sony run for their money. They've been too complacent. You know, they kind of ignored Nintendo a little bit. Oh, Nintendo, you know, for the last
couple. They've been ignoring themselves.
Huh?
They've been ignoring themselves.
So come on, Nintendo, bring out the games. Let's see the games tomorrow in your Direct, and come back to this channel, and we are for sure we talk about it.
Yep. And that pretty much wraps it all up. You know, I don't want to go ahead and run the risk of tripping over something else that's going to get us running for another 10-15 minutes, because we don't have that amount of time. With that, like I say at the end of every video, folks, thank you for sticking with us all the way up to the end. If you're so kind, leave us a comment below, especially if you think we've missed something. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. We are the middle-aged guys. We bullshit about nothing. Actually, we've been bullshitting about the Nintendo Switch for the last 35 minutes. I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
Great Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Yes, Nintendo, new console. At least they didn't announce it in February, around a month before that shit came out. Everybody was speculating on that shit too, but
they were going for that. I mean,
no.
You mentioned it. We're like, come on, Nintendo.
No credit card slot. Well, we were right about the memory card going in the console, but no credit card slot. None of that. No power gloves. None of that. Just bring the games. Metroid 5. please. Credits.